Here we are once again at the home of good music and good tunes in Acton, and that is Lee's Garage.
Yeah, music on Frederick Street, they've been calling it. We've had quite a few people comment on that, music on Frederick Street. So, yeah, we're going to be jamming a little bit tonight. So, it's always good doing it again Sunday at 2 p.m. here at Lee's Garage. Come on out, have some fun. And welcome back to the show, everybody. Glad you're back. We're missing Miss Leah Lywood for very reasons, but we hope it all gets squared away for her.
She's moving,
Yes.
and the pains of moving, so she doesn't really have time to do this.
The stress of that is
Absolutely.
just
Thinking about you, chickie.
yeah, and that's way more important than this any day of the week. But we do miss her, and so we've got Big Daddy, we've got Mandy, we've got myself. And our weekly update of what's going on. We've got the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are going to the playoffs starting Saturday.
Right
on.
Good job.
Taking on Kanawake in the first round.
Ooh, tough team. Tough
The
team.
native teams are all tough.
Oh, they're brutal.
They know how to play lacrosse.
Yeah, I did a couple years here at Acton when we had a team back in the 80s. And man, we played some of those Six Nations teams.
Hard as
We'd come
nails.
home like ice packs everywhere on your body on the bus home. We'd all be just like, they just beat the hell out of you guys. And it's a tough team. Yeah, good luck, boys.
The Kanawake Hunters is their first entree
Right.
in the playoffs. And of course, Amanda is here with our gig guide. I'm doing my Tom Gibney impersonation now because we have a teleprompter.
Teleprompter.
Yes.
Man, are we stepping up in the world.
Yeah, I think,
And it's a monster.
yeah, it's a huge teleprompter, and getting it for Walter Scott James, who always says, "Stop looking down, guys. Stop looking down."
Yeah. Wow.
And it's kind of hard to memorize everything, but it's great to have a teleprompter. Now, what's going on this week, and who are we brought to you by? Halton's Women's Place.
I don't know who we brought to you by.
Halton's. Well, we're going to tell them all about Max Tires in a moment.
Yeah.
But
Okie
first, it's
dokie.
Halton's Women's Place.
Oh.
You know
Okay.
what? Did you do the chime?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, at
okay.
the very beginning.
Just checking.
You were
Oh,
busy.
right.
You were busy.
I was
We're a
making my
little
way
off.
back to the
Yeah,
chair.
We're
You're
just
busy
a
being
little
a
off
producer.
today.
Well, I
Giving
gotta
us-
run the camera.
Yeah,
so.
you're running everything, so you're giving us the producer that stare. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The producer stare when I was doing this, and your mind was probably elsewhere. But
Okay, so the
what's
gig
going on?
guide is brought to you by Halton Women's Place. Okay, first up is the Appalachian. Friday, June 23rd, the Lakeshore Boys at 9 p.m. Saturday, June 24th, Deaf Dudes.
The death dude.
That's a tongue twister.
What a great name.
Paul Mathar is the lead singer, bass player. This guy, I am telling you, go on Saturday. It's from 2 to 6 p.m. like she was saying. Ask a song, and they will play it.
Really?
Oh, nice.
I am not kidding. Any song, and we're DJs, and we can pull stuff out of our head. They'll play it.
Oh, wow.
These guys are incredible.
Now
so,
that is a sign of an amazing band.
It's
absolutely,
a sign of a great musician.
absolutely,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Furnace room. What's going on?
We're still on the Appalachian.
sorry.
Yeah, agreed.
Every Wednesday, acoustic open mic jam,
Yes.
8 to 11 p.m.
And I know Manny's going to be there for that because Manny and the Dog's Bollocks, isn't it called now?
Yeah. He's usually there on the Sunday, not so much the Wednesday because he works another job too as
Yeah.
well. But he does show up
Yeah.
from time to time. So.
But that's the
Yeah,
name
I
of his
think-
band now, is it? The
Yeah.
Dog's Bollocks?
Yeah.
If you're not from England, you have no idea what that is. But if you're from England, you
I
know exactly what the Dog's Bollocks
I know
is.
exactly what it is.
Yeah, yes.
I'm
we
with
don't
that.
have to get into detail.
My girlfriend's a Brit, so
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The Dog's Bollocks.
I know more about England now than I ever did.
Okay, so the Furnace Room Brewery, Saturday, June 24th, in the upstairs tap room, live music featuring the Sentimentals from 1 to 4 p.m. And mark this on your calendars, Friday, July 21st.
That's funny.
Hypnotic beer event with hypnotist Pauline Farquhar at 8 p.m. Yes, you could end up being a chicken for a while.
Really?
Have you guys ever seen a hypnotist?
No.
No.
Okay, so quick story as we get into this. I'm a huge fan of George Carlin. Always have been.
Who
Five,
isn't? Yeah.
5 years old, I was listening to George Carlin. My babysitter used to play it all the time.
But the 7 Dirty Words?
Oh yeah, that was one of the very first albums I ever listened to.
Occupation Fool. Love
So
it.
when I was traveling to Vegas, every year we did a trade show in Vegas. So I finally got to go see George Carlin. It was like 2005, 2006, and I walked out. He was so angry. He was bitter, and the whole performance was just getting to me. I was like, this is crazy. So I went to the theater next door. Well, it was one of those hypnotists. And the guy, when he give him a ticket at the door, he walked through to go into the theater. He goes, sit in the middle. Because he always pulled from the edges, right? He pulled people in. The stuff I saw these people do on stage was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're paid. I don't know what. Oh, the monkeys.
Yep.
It was crazy. And, it was one of the best shows I'd ever seen in my life.
Wow.
So,
Unreal.
go to the Furnace Room Brewery. You will laugh your butt off while you're having a beer.
Yep. So mark it on your calendars.
Sorry, I had to take that story.
No, but it fits. It fits, baby.
The
Yeah.
best show, I am telling you, it was one of the best theater performances I had ever been to in my life. And I'd been to a lot of them because I traveled a lot. And, blew me away. Absolutely.
Pauline Farquhar. That's your name, eh? It's 8 p.m.
Farquhar.
in Furnace.
Yeah.
Farquhar, yeah.
Going out the Red
8
Harp.
p.m.
Okay, Tanner's. Friday, June
Monty.
23rd is Monty Gregg at 7 p.m. Okay, the Red Harp Acton. Friday, July 7th is Zach Petty at 9 p.m. July 8th is Troy Boy Entertainment presents Top Tier Drag Summer Tour. 9 p.m. Tickets at Troy Boy Entertainment.
That should be an interesting show.
Yeah.
Say that
Last
is.
time they had it there, it's about a month and a half ago, I think. You could hear them here.
Yeah.
It
Sounds
was
like a
so
lot of fun.
loud.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the hooting and the hollering and they were having fun. It was all good, so it wasn't a big deal. But normally you don't hear anything from the harp, whereas they hear us when we jam here. So it's funny.
Okay, and for those that have little ones, mark this one on your calendar. July 9th, Paw Patrol lunch at 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Kids meal and character meet and greet, $25. Limited reserved seating.
Sounds like fun for the kids.
Oh, God,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, that'll be a mayhem event for sure. Paw Patrol.
Yep. Yeah, I've had nieces that were gaga over them. So, yeah. Uncorked on Main. Dollhouse Events. Sunday, July 16th is the drag brunch. Doors open at 12 p.m. Start time is 1 p.m. $25. It is a seated event. So if you're going to go as a group, call as a group.
Yeah.
Get your tickets as soon as possible. The seating as well is limited.
Yeah, that's gonna. They're
It's
gonna go
fill
fast.
That's gonna fill
Very
up
much.
real quick.
That's a different kind of show. and
absolutely.
I'd be interested to see that myself. To tell you the truth.
Yeah. And mark another one to mark on your calendars. There's a lot this week.
Yes.
Well, it's
Okay.
Summer.
Yeah.
Rib Fest is back here in Georgetown, July 7th to 9th
Ooh.
at the Trafalgar Sports Park.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yes.
they've moved the venue at least, so that's cool.
Yeah. And benefit show. Christ the King Catholic Secondary School is a Epic Eagles, Canada's definitive Eagles tribute band,
Wow.
July 6th at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets at tinyurl.com.
That's an interesting
Saw a girl on the corner in Winslow,
Arizona. It's such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down
Come
to
to
take a look
at me. See, that's why we're radio people. We're not musicians. Well, he's a musician. Well, he's a singer actually. Yeah, you're better than I am. You're a hell of a lot better than I am. I'm way out.
I don't know if I go
He's
that
great
far.
on the drums too.
Now, the food bank is very important. We
Yes,
have to
very
It
much
is.
so. It's
Very-
we can't talk about this enough.
No.
Really, we
No,
cannot
we
talk.
can't.
Both the next two units we can't talk about enough, but the food banks definitely. We've been talking with people at the food banks. We can see what's going on in social media,
Yep.
and they need your help.
And I will
do.
be including it almost every week. So please, Georgetown Bread Basket and the Acton Food Shares are all asking for our help. If you can consider donating a food item or go online and give a cash donation, even $5, $10, anything goes a very long way to help.
Now, we always ask for help every week with the food bank because we always need help with it. But now we really
Yeah.
do.
Oh yeah.
We
no,
do.
this-
Because we're low, our families, our kids are not eating properly. We have to get those. So listen, here's an idea. The next time you go to Food Basics or the Superstore or Walmart, they all have, I believe, little dispensaries where you can leave food
Little bins.
by the
They
door.
have little
Yeah.
bins.
Are those that do, support those.
Yeah.
Yep.
And please just, even if it's a can of baked beans or something, hey, I'm a kid from England. I lived on baked beans.
And
Oh,
for
big time.
those
I
that
love
don't
them.
know what to get, a lot of these grocery stores have gone ahead and pre-packaged.
Yep. Yeah.
So there's
yeah.
brown paper bags with a list of items
Yeah.
that are
$10 bag,
inside.
$25 bag, whatever.
You can purchase one of those bags,
Yeah.
and it is what the food bank absolutely needs.
Good karma, people.
Yes.
Now we have a story about family abuse coming up this week in Halton that is involving, of course, what the Halton Women's Place is all about. And that'll be a story we get to later in the show, but we're brought to you each week
We are
by
brought to you
Halton
by
Women's Place.
Halton Women's Place. If you or anyone you know needs help getting out of a difficult situation, please, I urge you to reach out. Their crisis lines are open 24/7, including holidays. The phone number is 905-878-8555. I will repeat that number. 905-878-8555. Please, whether it's to a trusted friend, a family member, a co-worker, or Halton Women's Place, reach out. You're not alone.
Now we've got this teleprompter issue thing figured out.
Yeah.
'Cause that only took us a year.
Yeah.
Now we got to figure out how we can flash the number
Yeah.
on the screen
Yeah.
when we're doing the editing and the video. So that's the next move for us. We got to figure out how we can
Yeah.
put the phone number on there when we're, how you
Well,
see it on
we're
TV,
doing
right?
okay. We've been doing this for a long time now.
I know,
3
eh?
years, I guess. We've
Well,
been
you
on
think
the air.
about, just take even 50 a year, because
Yeah.
we missed a couple here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you just take an average of 50 a year, we're at 150 shows we've done.
Oh, wow.
And they're all available on demand
All of
on,
them
on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
It's
you can go on YouTube and see
HaltonHillsOnline.com.
all our videos, even from
Right.
3 years ago.
Yeah, and it's interesting watching. Look at how bad we were when we very first started. We're tripping over, and now we've got glamorous people working
Well,
with us.
yeah, we got better looking people working for us. So that's an attention getter right there. But
Now-
the show, we want to bring up that the show is brought to you by
Max Tires.
our good friends at Max.
Max Tires, and of course they have the lowest prices on tires. 905-873-9255. Lowest prices on tires. They'll fix your car. We'll even come and tow it because we own Fred's Towing.
That's right.
If you need a cab to get home while we're fixing your car, we own Easy Taxi. And then we have a new body shop. And I'm going to do a whole show next week on the new body shop, and we're going to talk about, maybe we'll get Sean on the show once.
Oh, we should.
We
shouldn't we?
actually should.
He'd be a great-
Absolutely.
I think he would be a great guest.
Absolutely, he would.
Yeah, very
People
smart
would
guy.
love him.
I love Sean. He's one of the smartest businessmen I've ever met. Honest to God.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of the nicest guys.
Yep.
And he's community oriented. He's helping us a lot more than you know.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Absolutely.
So, all right, let's check the Bulldogs before we get into the regular show. They beat the Green Gales 10-7, and then they beat Newmarket 12-5. So we ended with a couple of wins. Then the playoffs, as we were mentioning, begin against the Kanawake Hunters. Game 1 is Saturday night. And by the way, I posted on Georgetown Tell and Sell because I'm a little bit worried about the St. George Church bells. We haven't.
Oh, you said
had
something
them.
about that today, right?
Yes, I
they
saw
stopped.
that.
They stopped about, I would say, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I noticed that more than anyone because I live right across the street, and that's how I set my clock by the church bells at 6 o'clock. So the reason
they
for
are
it,
consistent.
the reason for that is nothing. Nothing bad. It is bad, but their equipment broke down. A lot of people on Facebook thought, "Oh, it's canceled because of this, and the town made them do this, and somebody complained." No, nobody ever is going to complain about the St. George bells. They're a part of our. They're part of our
I could
community.
see somebody complaining about it.
I guess
Yeah.
so. I guess so. But
We
you
just
know what?
got
I
a lot-
love those bells.
Sorry, I'm not playing.
So did I.
And they make
Especially
you
around
feel like
Christmas
you
time.
belong somewhere.
They-
You know what I mean?
They
It's
had
a
them here in
community
Acton
thing.
for a while too, for quite a few years. When I moved here in the 70s, the one church downtown, it was same thing,
Yeah.
and you get used to it. Like it's
Yes.
not like it's intrusive or
It's
I
anything.
not
used
like
to
a
love
train
them.
coming
The
through.
Saturday morning at 6:30 in the morning when the tannery would dump whatever they were dumping was the worst thing in the world. That thing stunk so bad.
And you know another thing, I have to take my hats off to all of the local churches for all of the wonderful jobs they do. But the St. George have a wonderful display at Easter and Christmas on the front lawn. And
Absolutely.
you really should take a look at it. And look
Oh, God,
at
yeah,
some of
it's
the history
incredible.
of some of our churches in town. And very, very interesting stuff. Of course, I'm into history. You know, another guy that we should get on here is the guy that does the historical acting. The guy that
Scott.
used to work with you,
Scott
Scott.
Brooks, yeah.
We
Yeah.
should get him on
Oh,
because
absolutely.
he would have some fascinating stories. I guess not too many big stories this week.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy, I guess.
I guess well known for his impact on junior baseball in Halton Hills, Kevin Burke is set to be honored in suitable fashion, which is pretty cool. After his death in January,
Yeah, so-
residents proposed renaming baseball diamond number 1 at the Georgetown Fairgrounds Park to Kevin Burke Field. A request approved by Town Council on June the 19th. The renaming is a tribute to a man who dedicated his life to this community, and he sure did. That's according to Jeanette Stewart, Burke's daughter. He would donate his time and his money to make sure that students who couldn't play the sport in Georgetown had the equipment and money
That's
that
cool.
was needed to join the leagues.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
And in 1980, the founder and first coach of the Georgetown Eagles, now the Halton Hills Minor Baseball Eagles, he took it upon himself to build a strong local team to compete in baseball leagues. With 8 15 to 19-year-old players finalized, he dedicated efforts, to developing a hardball team that would qualify for competitive baseball leagues. And when required to install proper lighting for evening games to join leagues, Burke stepped up again with the players to fundraise for the cause. The lights he helped installing about 4 decades ago continue to brighten the field today, and it's a beautiful baseball
And-
field at the fair. But they both are.
I actually still remember when they did that fundraising for those lights because
Yeah.
at that time there was nothing. It was, and then all of a sudden all the other parks started jumping on board as well. So it was really cool.
Sometimes I'll go over if I'm wandering around at night, just sit in the parking lot and watch the ball game, or sit. It's nice. It's when the community comes together.
Yeah.
We all play in the Eagles. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Big Eagles fan. So, who's going where? Who's the next story?
It's going to you.
That's Amanda.
You get to go
Okey-dokey.
this week. You get to go in for
You've got
Leah.
to scroll it down because
I
you
did.
can't see
It's
it.
right there. There's the next story.
Yep.
Right at the top.
Okay, a wartime submarine turned museum that once sustained hostile conditions served as a place of playful learning for young cadets. More than a dozen Acton Navy League cadets explored firsthand the life aboard one of Canada's best Cold War submarines, HMCS
Ojibwe.
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 The underwater 90-meter long, 5-story high vessel moving stealthily in darkness to remain undetected was the environment the submarine crew called home for long periods. History is good to know, as without it, we probably wouldn't have learned how we came up to this point.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Said 12-year-old Grace O'Donnell. Chief Petty Officer First Class it made me think about the process of building everything, the time spent, who worked on it, who they worked for, and what did they do. Even though 10-year-old Ryan Charland wasn't overjoyed first learning about the visit, he said it was fun going because I got to learn stuff about it.
Well,
So
that's
our
the thing
local kids are learning about the big subs.
Well, when they see it in hand, they watch it on a video or something. It's not the same. When they
No.
actually see it and they, whoa, it's that wow factor. It's impressive, and I used to love taking my kids to that stuff, man.
And it's the Acton Navy League, of course. There are a bunch of local kids
Yeah.
that get out and have some fun.
No,
Now-
we need to get our kids out going to the places like the Science Center, take them to the fire department, take them, on those events that are out there, and there's tons of them out there. We're going to talk about a few probably at the end of the show. Events that are always going on, like Big Daddy said, we're in summer now,
Yeah,
and there's just so much stuff going on.
there is, and it's
Well,
great
it
to
was
see.
one thing I loved when I first moved here. I had a babysitter. She would set up little play dates or whatever,
Yep.
where she took them on a trip to the fire department, or she took
Yeah.
them on the trip to the police station.
You can go to a fire department for the most part anytime,
You wanna
and
see
they
a
will
fi-
take you on a tour.
You want to see
Yeah.
a firefighter's face light up?
Oh,
Just
God,
see a bunch
yeah.
of kids come in.
Come in.
Yep.
Oh God,
And
yeah.
then they go get to sit in the truck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They get to touch the front seat, the
Yeah.
leather. And
Oh,
then,
Oh yeah,
And
I
grab
have some
steering wheel
amazing
and make
pictures.
Make all the noises
Like-
while they're playing on the steering wheel.
They get to
yeah.
stand on the side with the hose and the whole bit.
All right, our next story is not a great one. Big Daddy was talking about it earlier, but we were talking about Halton Women's Place, and intimate partner violence and violence against women are an epidemic in Halton. On June 14th, Halton Regional Council made the declaration after more than 3,500 calls for intimate partner violence that were made to local police last year alone. Jennifer Kagan Viatar, I'd say, is a former victim of domestic violence and the mother of Kira Kagan, the girl who was found dead alongside her biological father in Milton back in 2025.
I remember that.
An absolute tragic story. She became an outspoken advocate on the issue of IPV and gave a delegation before regional council on this matter. She believes that the kind of declaration from the region helps move the issue out of the shadows and into the space where it can change. 30 to 40 children are killed per year by a parent. That is
Wow.
absolutely ridiculous
horrifying.
numbers.
Isn't that a horrible
However,
number?
unlike other killers in society, such as cancer, heart disease, infectious disease, domestic violence crisis remains largely hidden from mainstream society, and that is very, very true. I
It
truly
is.
believe that. Many of these cases do not even make it to the media, and so society's silence allows it to continue and unabated, said Keegan Viatar, and it is a problem. And
If you're in a bad situation, get the hell out of it.
Mandy
It
said
is not always as easy
I know.
to know where to go.
Well, that's
It is
it.
one of the reasons why I'm an absolute advocate for
there's
something
an
like this.
intimidation factor, there's a fear factor, there's
Yes.
a factor of the unknown.
Yes.
Because we're humans, we don't really like change. Like we were talking about Leah moving, and the stress that causes anybody whenever you're moving. It's just our bodies just don't like it.
Yep.
And it's
that
tough.
too, when you're dealing with something like this, there's also what they call conditioning.
Yes.
So
yeah.
a lot of the times these women or children are in a situation where they have literally been conditioned out of fear to, if they open their mouth, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
they'll
the
never
thought.
get out.
That's the black thought in their minds.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it really isn't that way if you really do try to help yourself. There are people that really care up there about you
Yep.
out there, and the three of us.
Absolutely.
Your community cares about you more than you know, and Halton Women's Place is a place where you have to go to cross that bridge. Once you've crossed the bridge, you're out of it because
Yep.
don't stay in a. It's toxic. You just
Absolutely.
absolutely
You know,
toxic
it-
and
Yep.
dangerous. and
It's
dangerous.
extremely dangerous.
And like I say, when you see numbers like that, the amount of children dying each year because of it as well, think of your kids, man.
Yep.
Now, biking around Halton Hills, I mean, you got to remember, we've all been locked up for 2 years with COVID, and now we're out, we're walking, we're biking, we're going to concerts, uh, we're going to car shows, we're doing we're going to restaurants, we're talking
Sitting
with
on the patio.
Yes.
and biking is very big in Halton Hills, especially with the kids. Kids love the bikes. And biking around Halton Hills is now a little easier with a map, actual map they've done, detailing the town's cycling infrastructure. The folks at the town do a great job of putting stuff like this together.
Oh, yeah.
And all you have to do is go in there, photocopy it, and put it in your binder, and you've got your own little map of Halton Hills. The town of Halton Hills and the Halton Hills Bike It group partnered to release the town's first bike map to encourage individuals to ride more often. Now that we have a solid network of cycling infrastructure in Georgetown and Acton, it makes sense that we have a map detailing all these fabulous routes, said our mayor, Ann Lawler. The town is committed to making our roads safer for cyclists as part of our active transportation strategy. The map shows the town's bike routes constructed during the past decade, featuring 13 loop rides designed to use cycling infrastructure such as bike lanes, multi-use paths, and quiet streets that offer enjoyable cycling for all ages and abilities. Sharing a town release, volunteers on the town's Bike It group created the loop rides and safety messaging on the map. So just go in there in Halton Hills, the town website, and download your map or photocopy it or whatever you want to do.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if they actually come up with a digital one that somebody could throw on their, like an app that they could throw on their phone.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to print anything out. You can just on your phone, because a lot of bikes, like on my bike, I've got a bracket for my phone on there, so you can just punch it up and then it'll like almost like a Google Maps or a GPS kind of system.
There's so many. Like
cool
if you look around Halton Hills, there's so many trails for walking and biking.
Well, I'm sure they probably could. If they could make a Pokemon app where you could go from one end of Mississauga to the other end of Toronto, finding all these invisible Pokemon, I'm pretty sure they could.
Yeah,
I think they should be able to do that.
Yeah.
definitely. We got to keep moving along here because I checked the time earlier. So police are looking for some help there, man.
Okay, police are hoping the public can help out with an alleged incident that happened at a local store. At roughly 5:15 p.m. on April 29th, a female victim was in a change room at the Calvin Klein store at the Toronto Premium Outlets in Halton Hills. While in the change room, it's alleged that a male suspect used his cell phone to record the victim by raising his hand over the door with his phone. Police allege the victim left the change room and saw the suspect with two other men who all immediately left the store. The alleged suspect is described as male, white, in his late 20s, approximately 5'8", tall, with an average build, and has dark colored eyes. He was wearing a black, dark gray baseball cap, a black and white windbreaker jacket with triangles on it, and a dark colored sweatpants. Anyone with any information or who can identify the suspect is asked to contact the 1st District Street Criminal Investigations Bureau at 905-825-4777, extension 2416.
Oh,
Excellent.
that's a little bit different, isn't it? That one
Unfortunately, it is actually very common.
It's happening
It
more
happens
and more.
a lot.
All right, we got to get moving along here. We can bounce past this one. I'm sorry, but
well, with car show, we could tell
Yeah.
them we had a good time last week.
we had a great time last week. We hope to be back again in the future. And if you get a chance to check it out, it goes on Friday afternoons at Moldmasters. So,
Car show.
Halton police say they're investigating an act of vandalism at Georgetown Elementary School as a hate crime. At some point over the time of June 17th to 18th weekend, someone attended St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Elementary School at 120 Sinclair and damaged the pride banner, police had commented. The banner, which featured a rainbow and the words, "We all belong in our Catholic school," was defaced with black spray paint. The suspect appears to have drawn a cross over the inclusive message along with the word no. When reached for comment, a representative with the Halton Catholic School Board said the vandalized banner was taken down by the faculty management after it was discovered on Sunday, June 18th. I did see the picture of it, and yeah, it was pretty bold. Pretty out there in your
disgusting,
face.
if you ask me.
You know,
It is.
some events going on there, Big Daddy.
Acton trunk sale happening every Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The Acton GO Station parking lot. Rotary Club of Acton is back for the season with its popular trunk sale, and shop for a variety of products or become a vendor. Just $15, no reservations required. Simply show up anytime after 7 a.m. And of course, the Georgetown Farmers Market. That's every Saturday morning, 8 till 12:30 p.m. in downtown Georgetown. Shop every Saturday morning from a mix of vendors that offer farm produce, culturally diverse food products, the Sausage Lady, and handcrafted jewels, soaps, candles, and more. I don't know if she's still down there, but I used to hang out with the Sausage
Man, the
Lady a
smell
lot.
of that just, oh.
What's going on to the Optimist Club there?
Optimist Club Garage Sale, June 24th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 13439 Highway 7, Halton Hills. Find those new to you treasures at the 5th Annual Optimist Club of Halton Hills Garage Sale. All money raised is donated back to Halton Hills youth groups.
So that's just north of 22nd Side Road, right across from Hayray.
Yeah.
There we go. All right,
Book
they've
sale?
got a book sale going on June 24th from 10 a.m. to
Saturday?
4 p.m. at the Georgetown Marketplace. The Upper Credit Humane Society is hosting a pop-up book sale in the mall center court. Stock up for your summer and cottage reading, especially the cottage. You'd love to have that stuff. Children's books will be priced at 50 cents or $1. Adult books will be $1 or $2. So decent, relatively pricey. Like I say, stock up for the cottage, the trailer, wherever you're going.
Library's got something going on Sunday as well, I believe. And then as the 10 to 11, oh, that's Saturday, pardon me,
Yep.
at the Halton Hills Public Library Acton branch. Drop by for Summer Reading Challenge launch party and explore the animals of Africa with hands-on exotics. That sounds
That actually
fun.
sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I love Africa.
I know.
Sunday we got the Open Washer Toss Tournament, whatever the hell that is. What is that?
It's kind of like horseshoes, but it's a small,
Oh,
a little
okay,
shorter,
all right,
and
yeah.
you got to do the washer.
I thought they were tossing washers around in the backyard.
Could you imagine
No, the
that?
dryers are next weekend.
Well, the dryers are next weekend. Yeah, that's in Georgetown. Oh, God. Oh, we have too much fun. June 25th, Sunday, 11 a.m., the Royal Canadian Legion for that. And then we got the Downtown Acton Historical Walking Tour, which is with our buddy Scott Brooks. And that is on Sunday at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So
Scott
there
does
you go.
a great job with that, and he's getting a good turnout. It's good to see him getting a good turnout. He's really dedicated to the history of Acton, and especially the historical homes and all that stuff. So
We're brought to you by Max Tires each and every week. And, of course, we get our sources from the Halton Police, the Independent Free Press, of course, Halton Hills Today.
Yeah, Acton Up.
And, of course, Acton Up as well.
Yeah.
And his son won, Chris's son was in, I can't remember what he won. He was in something.
yeah,
this week.
I caught a story earlier in the week. Though,
I'm going to
so
have to re-look that one.
I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Also want to thank our good friends over at White Owl Legal. They're a local legal company. If you're having a problem with a landlord and tenant, a traffic ticket, whatever, get in touch with them. They're a little bit less expensive than going for a lawyer. So if you want to get in touch with them, they're info at whiteowl.legal, or give them a call at 289-839-3075. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. We just had a fun show, and we had to get through it pretty quick.
Max Tires, 905-873-9255 is the phone number.
Absolutely.
And
Leah, we miss you.
Yes.
Big
We
Daddy,
do.
Mandy, myself, we miss you, sweetie.
Community is
We'll-
community, right?
Yeah.
We better say that, or she'll
Yeah.
give us shit.
Community is community. You navigate.
And
We drive.
Have a great week, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll catch you all on the B-side. I got to go do the camera now.
Cool.